Hey guys, welcome back. Today I've got something really exciting to share with you, and I'm hoping that you're as excited as I am for this because I was able to go online and I got an entire box of Lucky soy sauce. I'm kidding, of course. Inside the Lucky soy sauce box is a Lego eBay score that I was able to get, and I'm kind of ashamed to say this, but I actually got this at the very end of August, and somehow it made its way down to the brickitect studio and was forgotten for months. But here it is, and I'm really excited to show you what's inside here because it's certainly not soy sauce. Let's go to my computer and I'll show you what I was able to find. I guess this is going to spoil the surprise a little bit of what's in the box, but as you can see here, I bid on and won Lego Superheroes app-controlled Batmobile building kit incomplete, and that's where the mystery is going to come back into play. This is also going to be the anatomy of a bad eBay listing. Let's go down through this. As you can see here, this is used, and of course it ended on August 29th, which is the embarrassing part, but look at the time that it ended, 2:48 a.m. That is definitely not a time that you typically want an auction to end because not a lot of people are up then. Just weirdos like me, although I bid on this like days in advance, and as you can see here, I was the only bidder, and my winning bid was $19.99. If you guys aren't familiar, this Batmobile building kit, which is like an RC type thing, and I'll show you some photos here, this is typically a $100 set. Now I should say, let's go down here to the description. This is incomplete, as it mentioned up there. It says, up for bid is a new unused Lego Superheroes app-controlled Batmobile building kit. Just as my son opened it, tried to put it together and gave up on it. All parts remaining is in the picture, selling as is, not sure if he loose any pieces. So obviously the description is pretty terrible. I'm a little worried about that. The feedback is 98.5, which I typically only buy from people with like 100% feedback. I don't need you messing things up in the past, but I gave him that pass because I felt like if I won this for $20, it'd be definitely worth it, even if it's not complete. And as you can see here, the shipping was $10.56. So I spent $30.55 on what is potentially a fully completed Batmobile. And as you see from the photos here, it certainly looks like mostly everything is there, although it's hard to tell. He has the box in the background here, and you can see some extra pieces laying about. I see the battery pack. I see the cords back here. Again, I have no experience in building this, and it's not something that I was super interested in until me and Clark Man were doing RC stuff, and I thought this would be kind of fun. But he took pictures of the loose stuff there. There's a picture of the box. Looks like it's in good shape. This is mostly complete. I'm not sure why he said his son gave up on it because it looks like it's mostly built. And I thought for $20 and $10 shipping, so for $30, I thought I would take a risk on it. If anything, just to share it with you and kind of see how we make out here. And I think if mostly everything's there, well, especially if it's like the power functions are there, I think we have a win here. So there's the backstory. And now after 2.5 months of this sitting in here, which I'm still ashamed of, we're going to crack into this and see exactly what we have. Do we have a fully completed Batmobile? Will it all be here? Did the sun really give up on it? Are pieces missing? Stay tuned to find out. Got to build the hype. I'm going to cut right through that box. Let's be careful here. We're going to do the old rip. Some of you are just cringing right now is the way I'm opening this. I say this every time I open something on camera. I need to give up on the brickitect unboxing knife. It's really just almost put on life. Here's the box. Flip it around this way. I think they've got a receipt for me in here, so let's take a look at that. And you can admire the beauty of the Batmobile 76112. This says, thanks to your purchase, we looking forward to doing business with you again on eBay. Don't forget to give us a feedback on our services. Okay, I'll do that. Regardless, they fulfilled their end of the bargain, whether this is complete or not. But inside here, we've got the Batmobile, and we've got a sticker on the front there, which doesn't make me happy. It says Batmobile 76112, Batmobile, $99.99, Def Salve. What does that mean? Is that a store? And this item is electronically protected from Target. Here is the bottom of it and the back. Here's the moment of truth. So we open this up. We've got a manual, and being that I didn't buy it, looks like it's pretty flat. They got lucky on that one. We've got what appears to be exactly as it was in the photos. Looks mostly built. There's a bit of a close-up on it. I can see the motor down there. We've got the cords that are running out here. Again, I haven't built this before, so I don't know if it is in fact all here, but everything is jiving there, and on this side as well. Inside here, these are the extra pieces. We've got the battery box. It's got the bottom part here. Why don't I just dump these out so you guys can see everything? We do have a piece that fell off in the shipping process. No big deal there. We'll crack into these. You guys probably know better than me if there's a problem here, but we've got all of that. And for me, if this is just fully completed in terms of getting it running, I'm down with that. Clarky can throw all kinds of extra pieces and stuff on this and make it something really awesome if he wants to. But I'd like to try to build this up, and that's what I'm going to do next. I do see one thing that's missing. We don't have a Batman. At least I don't think so. I didn't see him floating around in here, which is no problem because we've got a few. I think we're going to be okay there. I think my plan for this is just going to be to tear this entire thing apart, get it down to just the pieces, and then go through all of the steps and build it just as it should be, because I want the joy of building it as well, and that'll give me a good indication whether all the pieces are there or not, because it's going to be kind of hard just to take what's here and start stabbing things on there to see. And I guess I'll do that, and Greg from the future will come back with you and give you the full results on the Batman Batmobile. How many pieces is this, by the way? Let's just see that. I know this is grossly overpriced if you're a cents per piece guy. This is 321 pieces, so I'm right there. 30 bucks, 321 pieces. We'll find out in the next clip, which should be 1 second for you and maybe a little bit longer for me. Finally, here we are with the finished Batmobile, and I've got some good news and I've got some really bad news. Let's start with the good news first, get that out of the way. The good news is that this thing was fully complete. All the pieces were there, except Batman, and I was really happy about that. But you may notice, and this is going to take us to the bad news, you may notice that this part's blank back here. And that's because I have it disassembled, because the hub, as I've learned it's called, is not working. This is the one that came with the set, and I have reason to believe, I put batteries in there, everything was set up, and I went to kind of turn it on and nothing happened. I have reason to believe that this thing got wet, and I know my camera's not doing this justice, but I took apart my train. I have the cargo train over there, which you can see right there. I took that apart just to compare and see what these things look like, and you can tell that mine, which is on this side, is very nice and clean, and the one over here isn't. You can especially see that back here. I wish I had a better way to show this to you, but I think you can kind of see, this is mine right here, the clean one. You see how that looks back there versus that? That leads me to believe that this thing got wet, and that's definitely not a good thing when it comes to electronics. You can also see some of the contacts are a little bad looking on here, so that was concerning. Also, this part of it, mine again is on the left. You can see just how nice that looks, and this one, especially up there at the top, you see how different that looks. Like something happened to this. I don't know if it was a battery issue or if the kid took it outside and ran it, and I'm kind of wondering at this point whether this was just a cover, because again, all of the pieces were there and it was complete. I almost wonder if they just tore a couple things off of it to make it look like that might have been the only problem, that it wasn't complete, and that was the reason they're selling it as is, where in reality, they knew all the pieces were there, but it was the hub that was the problem. The next thought, like any reasonable person, was just go to Lego and get another one. Well, I went and looked, and this is the hub that I need, and if you scroll down here, this is the cost. So if you're wondering why this Batmobile is $100 for 321 pieces, as it shows on the front there, the reason is because it has a $50 hub in it. And being that my hub is either damaged or not working with this, that would explain why I got this for what I did, which was $30, including shipping. So I could easily break it, and that's an option. Or better yet, I could take my hub and put it in here, the one that goes with the train that's back there, and make it work just fine. Or I could mess around with it, which is probably what I'll do. I'm going to try to maybe brush this off a little bit with maybe some, I don't know, take some rubbing alcohol to it along with a Q-tip or something and see if I can get this working. It's not looking promising, and I probably should have looked at this like right away. I just assumed that being that the motor or the hub was in there, everything would have been good. And never make any assumptions. That's something to learn on eBay. Never make any assumptions of anybody or anything unless they specifically tell you something's working. Don't assume that it is. Assume that it's not, and that's what I should have done here. But for $30, essentially, I got everything but that. I could maybe find one of these cheaper somehow, maybe on eBay or Bricklink. It even crossed my mind maybe I could get a knockoff one, but I imagine because this works with the app and all that stuff with Bluetooth, you probably do have to get the official one. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll do an update video on this if I can get it working. But for right now, my epic eBay score that I thought was pretty awesome on a really poorly listed item. Again, they didn't list the set number. It ended at an odd time. It was really poorly written for the description. All those things probably should have led me away from this, but I wanted to take a gamble on it. And that's what I did, and I think I came up as a loser here. But let me know what you guys think. Would you pay $30 for the hubless Batmobile? I don't know. For me, it's kind of a question mark. I guess I did, so I don't have much of a choice, but I do have a hub for it. I could just swap between these, run one thing at a time. I just can't run a train and a Batmobile at the same time, but who's doing that anyway? So I could make this work. I mean, that's what I'll do right now for you, just so you guys can see this thing in operation, because it's kind of a letdown at this point. Let's get this thing fired up. Get my good hub and my good parts here, which it's these ones. And we'll put the batteries in. I am thankful that I had another one of these. That way I could at least see what this thing's like. See if it's worth spending the money to fix or to get the parts for. I'm just going to flip these things around. You can see it flashing there, which means that it's working. Again, this is the one that came from my collection, so that's probably why. There is really no good place for these wires to go. I try to hide them as best as I can. Ugh. I don't love it, but all the wires are in there now, so I guess we'll go with that. Can we still turn it on? Yep, I saw the flash. Next, you're going to go to the Powered Up app through Lego. And you got the Batmobile. We have all kinds of flashing happening. Check that out. And now we wait. Okay. I think it's ready. Oh boy. I was like, is it gonna go? Driving over this battery cover from the thing that doesn't work. So you control it like a tank. This side over here controls the right side, and this side over here controls the left side. And if you want to go straight back, you do both. You want to go forward, you do both. If you want to spin in a circle, imagine you do one up and one down. Oh, it doesn't like that very much. We're going to try that spin again here. Ugh. That's what I'm doing right there. You guys over there so you guys can see it. We're at 100, and that's it spinning in a circle. I've been a huge fan of RC trucks here for a couple months, and I have to say this is probably my least favorite RC truck, if you want to call it that I've experienced. It does go kind of smooth though. We need to do a high speed test. Please forgive my messy floor. Making do with what I have. We're gonna go all in on this thing and see how fast it goes. That's it. I have to say I hate the controls of this. I really do. Maybe some people like this kind of control, but for me it's just counterintuitive when you actually are into RCs and just getting it to turn and stuff. It's terrible. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't even think this is something that's going to grow on me. I don't know. This definitely didn't go the way I anticipated. I thought this thing looked cool. Of course, I didn't watch any reviews or anything on it. But after actually using it, even after not having a working hub, it's kind of lame. And for $100, I could never justify this. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with it. I obviously don't want to spend the $50 to get a hub just for this. I'm thinking about maybe just putting it back on eBay for what I bought it for, and then using that $30 if I can sell it for that. Maybe somebody out there wants this without the hub, and maybe you have some extra hubs sitting around from your trains or whatever. Maybe somebody would want this for $30 and be able to enjoy it. Maybe I just need to play with it more and experience it and see what it's like. Why don't we do a very serious test here? I'll bring Clarkman down and see what he thinks of it, and that'll make my decision. I need your help with something, Clarkman.
The Batmobile, yes.
It's done. Yeah. Don't get your hopes up, though. You want to try driving it?
Mm-hmm. How do you go forward?
It's kind of tricky. You hold it like that, and then if you push that up, that turns it, but you have to use this hand, too. You have to use both hands to make it go forward. So push both those up, and it drives.
I go backwards.
You push them down. Like that. There you go. Oh.
How do you turn?
One up and one down. Or just one up. Really have to push on those to get it to go.
What?
We'll just put that part back on, and
Well, how do you press turbo this?
I don't think there's a turbo. Batman. Oh my goodness! I didn't know it did that. Batman. Oh, that's what you press? What's this? What does that do? I don't know, dude.
Let's put turbo engine on it.
I don't think there is turbo. Yeah, I think I stand by my decision. This is the worst RC truck or vehicle that we've bought. What do you think about it, Clarky?
I like it.
You like it?
Uh-huh.
Do you want to hold on to it, or should I sell it on eBay?
I want to hold on it.
Okay, we'll give it a try over the weekend here. I'll let you guys know if I put this up for sale, and we'll see.